Hey there guys, Ian here, and today I'm bringing you my second behind the scenes video. What you've just watched is a intro called Community4D. It's actually a community channel which I'm personally setting up to kind of help motion designers, because most graphics clans or teams, whatever, focus more on kind of Photoshop manipulations, and anyone doing like animation intros kind of gets left behind a bit. So I decided to set up a little community channel to kind of help you all along. Obviously it's not big at the moment, but hopefully it will grow a bit and you'll see a lot more content in the future. If you want to submit any videos to upload, then just message me on my main channel or on the Community4D channel, and hopefully it'll get partnered when it gets to 500 subscribers, and then as soon as it starts making money I will sort out paying everyone who uploads. And so if a certain video gets lots of views, then they'll get the money, and I won't really take any money for myself unless I upload to it. So it's kind of a way to get a bit more like traffic to your channel, as well as the potential to get a bit of money for it as well. And you don't need to do anything to submit a video. You just fill in a little form or just post me a link, and unless it's completely terrible, then I will probably upload it. There's no like incredibly high standards. It's just a way to kind of showcase your work and to kind of make a community portfolio of work as well. So anyway, to the behind the scenes video of the intro you just watched, the Cinema 4D file, it didn't take that long to do because I actually reused my current intro for the C. I actually had experimented with a few different types of intro before I came up with my main one, but I actually played around with it spinning in, and so I decided to take that and actually place it into this scene to use as the C for the community. If you want to have a little look into the actual logo, what we have is that clone is just a few lights around the edge, which I've turned off, which are these lights here. They have some visible light as well, just to make it glow a bit. So those weren't flares in post-production, they were actually part of the logo. I'll just turn them off. The next thing, we have a couple of pipes at the back, just to kind of make it a little more interesting. The middle was just made up of a few spheres and circles. You can actually take a closer look in on the logo. We'll just zoom in. We just have a few nuts and bolts, nothing really, just to give it that extra bit more interest. Then we have, I don't even know where these are. They don't appear to be anywhere. No, I don't know what they are. The engines, this is what slowed the scene down a lot. This was using sweep NURBS and a circle to sweep around it to give the engine kind of coils. Then we just have some very basic modelling here, and at the end of it we also have a little light, which you can't see that much of, but I tracked flares to them. And then we have these cables, which I actually had, if I turn off everything else, what we have is a middle section here, which if we zoom in is just this cylinder, which I used a ball object to kind of cut out the shape here. And so all these pipes kind of fitted into the center. We also had the actual cables in a cloner object, cloning around these times. If you don't want it to go round a full circle, you actually have a start and end angle here, which I actually, if you can see, actually kind of bounces a bit. That's done with a mixture of the plane effector, which grows it out, and also this cable delay, which gives it that spring effect. And then finally we have the main pipes, which grow out here, and these also had a small delay spring, just to give it a little bounce effect, and to get these a variety of shapes in here, what we have is the main spline here, which is what it's cloned around, and then we have just different types of tubing, each slightly different size, some smaller, some larger, and then with the clones selected to random, it just randomly placed them around the arc to give it this quite nice effect, and then the plane effector just to change the strength from, well, the scale from -1 to 1, and then just move that along, and then with the delay we created that little bounce. So if we turn these back on, next we have the actual background, which is actually really easy. I just used a sky object and then used this picture here, which I just googled stars in sky and just selected only large images and found this 3K resolution image, and then just placed it on a sky object, and I actually shrunk it down to 10%, and that gave it this really nice background here. And I'm not sure, but if we render it out, yeah, you get this really nice backdrop. It does repeat itself quite a bit, but I think it looks really nice. And to light the scene, all I did was used the Grayscale Gorilla's daylight, and also a physical sky, which gave it the kind of tones, and also we have a couple of lights just to light the text here, otherwise it didn't really stand out. And a little tip: in the project setting on the light, you can actually make it so the light only affects certain objects. So this way the lights only affected the text and didn't really ruin the logo, which are lit previously. So these lights just help things along. And then if we jump into After Effects and just close this out, when this loads up, we can see what I did in After Effects. Okay, so what we have here is, if we jump into the project file, we have the camera and sunlight, which I exported from Cinema4D. That way I could actually put a flare on the sun object, and with the camera it actually moved around. So you can see here we have a realistic movement of the sun, and it took no time at all to track that. We have some basic colour correction using curves, looks and a letterboxer, just to make it look a little bit nicer. We have hundreds of flares tracked by hand. In here we have 17 different flares which go over the logo, tracking onto all the little outside lights. And as I pointed out earlier, the lights in the middle were just normal visible lights, and that gives that little sheen here, which looks really nice. And so those flares just track around there. I didn't really need 17, I could have done with, I think it's 7. Yeah, I could have done it with 7, but it meant making sure I knew which engine was where, and so it was just a bit easier just to, each time a new one appeared, create a new flare. When it disappeared, turn the brightness down to 0. And then finally I pre-compositioned it and added a plugin called Real Smart Motion Blur, and that gives it this really nice kind of realistic motion blur effect here, to give it the idea that it's going quite fast and spinning, and it makes it just look a bit more realistic. So this is basically how I did the intro. I'm really happy with the result, and what I'm going to do is anytime someone wants to upload to the channel, they just have to put this intro before their video and kind of link it in the description, and that way the community channel grows, therefore your video get more views, and when possible it will get you more money as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this breakdown of the video, and I hope it's kind of taught you a little something. If you do like the video, just make sure you leave a little comment, and if you do have anything that you'd want to see on this channel, this community channel, then just let me know and I'll try and upload it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.